Chat, I feel like it's very safe to say that Wuthering Heights was not made for me, but I'm going to review it anyways. So, Wuthering Heights follows Margot Robbie's character, Catherine, who is the daughter of a rich man who keeps losing his money. And this dad of hers takes in Jacob Elordi's character, Heathcliff, to take him in and make a man out of him. Which, I guess he says he does, but he never really does that. It's kind of Heathcliff, or does it himself. Anyways, Heathcliff is too poor for Catherine, so she marries a rich man. And Heathcliff runs away, but he comes back all sexy and rich, so they have their affair. Totally lovable characters, right? I heard this film was a lot different from the book, and being a person who hasn't read the book, I can tell that there's definitely different tones going on throughout the whole film because they're getting parts from the book that I can tell, and then other parts are just like kind of make it up and doesn't really match. By the end of the day, I'm here to review the movie, not the book or what the movie should have been. There are a couple things that I do really like about this film. Firstly, it's beautiful. Very beautiful film. The setting is amazing. The costumes are top notch. There's a ton of beautiful and well thought out shots. I loved all the gothicness of this film, though it kind of felt weird at first because this is a British movie and goth doesn't really go with British stuff. It's mostly like German or Germanic kind of films. But honestly, it works for this film. You can tell there was a lot of attention to detail for this film when it came to the setting, costumes, and just every shot that was well thought out. And I can really appreciate that in a film. I also love the way the cast talk to each other. It seemed very fitting for the time era, and you had to think about what they're saying, not just like, okay, if you hear that, it's my dog, sorry. So you could just, Daisy Breaker distracted me. Guys, I'm getting lost, I'm sorry. But you can just you have to think about it. You can't just turn your brain off and go on your phone. You will not understand what's going on. So I really appreciate that in this film anyway. However, that doesn't mean this script was good. The chemistry between Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie was definitely very much there. Honestly, watching this film, I felt bad for Margot Robbie's husband, which is one of the few times I felt bad for someone's husband or wife who's in a film because the chemistry is all over there. I'm sorry. If it comes out that there's an affair between Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, I would totally believe it. There's nothing that's going to convince me otherwise. Honestly, if you're a dude, do not watch this movie with your girlfriend, wife, or any girl you're interested in. It's just not a good idea. There's stuff that'll be set, standards that are impossible to uphold. Honestly, if you're a guy, you're just cooked, honestly. This is definitely a girl's movie, and there's a lot of themes that comes in between the chemistry and certain interactions between the two leads that is I feel like it's every girl's fantasy of at least one point. And that's what they were going for, and I think they totally nailed the mark on that. But does this movie have a real message and it didn't land its mark? No, not at all. Look, I didn't like all the kinky stuff. I'll be honest. I don't like it. It's not my favorite thing to go into a movie and watch it. It makes me uncomfortable, and it's just not who I am as a person. I also really dislike the theme that Hollywood always does in every movie, which is make everyone cheat and make excuses for it and say it's a good thing. I don't know why they do that. It's probably because none of them can take any vow they make serious, and they always cheat on each other anyway. But for the everyday person, cheating is not a great thing, and we don't like that in our lives. It's not a good thing. I don't think there should be excuses for it. But let's just ignore the cheating part, which this movie is definitely supporting. And I'll be honest, it's supporting it. It's not really making excuses for the cheating. It's making excuses for other things. But let's ignore the cheating. The two main characters are awful. They're awful to each other, and they're awful to everyone around them. They try to make excuses, like I said, because their dad, and I'll say their dad because they're both technically raised by the same person, is a bad person. He's a drunk who likes to gamble and likes to hit people. But there comes a point, people, there really does. It comes to a point where you're giving context and kind of excuses for certain actions because of what happened in your past. And then you can't make excuses anymore because you're just a terrible person. You are not fixing anything. You know these things are there and you just keep doing it. It's not okay. The only good person in this film was Margot Robbie's husband, but they don't really explore him and they don't really do much for him. They just kind of make him a loser. So you can't really support him in any way. His sister is freaking wild. Not a good wild. Also very unrealistic for men to watch his Jacob Elordi treat the sister, and that's just going to be very bad. That's a whole nother topic. We're not going to do that. It's bad. Also, I got to say, this might be a hot take from me. Margot Robbie wasn't the right pick for this film. Yes, the chemistry between Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi was top notch, and it's convincing. However, that doesn't mean she's still the right choice. I like her. She's an amazing actress. One of my favorite actresses, honestly. And she's a very beautiful woman. She still is a very beautiful woman. However, she's just too old for this role. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it's just the truth. For the movie that tries to be realistic and fitting with the time period, which it fails with casting in certain parts, but we won't go into that much, it feels with her, which is casting the main cast. It's obvious she's much older than Jacob Elordi, and honestly, she's too old to be pregnant when she gets pregnant. For that time period, at least, for that time period. I know, spoiler, but I feel like I have to say this for this take. It would make a lot more sense for Jacob Elordi's character to be much older, or the husband to be much older. I think the husband probably gives around the same age as Margot Robbie, but Jacob Elordi is, I don't really know how old he is, mid-20s. Like, it's obvious he's much younger than her, and that just doesn't make sense for the time period. And also, she's acting like a 17-year-old, 18-year-old who's drunk in love, which is not love, and you're like 40, you look 40. Are you supposed to be acting like this at 40 when you have a kid and a family? Like, what? The overall message of this film is just saying that tragedy is worth it, or you should just cheat, or it's only okay to love a man when he's rich, or you should punish everyone around you because you're not getting your way. That's what this film is going for. Emerald Fallon, I don't know how to say her name. The director honestly makes movies for young college girls who are just starting to get into movies, but their tastes are just really bad. And you can't really tell them, like, no, that's not a good movie, because they'll get all mad on you. Like, they're the most annoying group of people that start getting into movies. Like, that's the kind of thing she makes movies for. Like, I liked Saltburn for the most part. There was a lot of good things about it, some things I disliked. But everyone who loved it were the most annoying people in the whole world. And they would not shut up about it. Like, geez, calm down. It's not that great. Apparently, the book was more like gothic tragedy, sadness, depression, which this film had the capabilities to do. And they got the tone right at certain parts for that to happen. But the director was like, nah. It was very act the worst possible way because love for some dumb reason, but it's not love. It doesn't make any sense. Overall, Wuthering Heights was honestly a movie that ended up being exactly what I thought it was going to be. And good luck if you're seeing this for Valentine's Day. I'm there for you. I'm praying for you. It's not good. I'm giving Wuthering Heights a 5 out of 10. So, what do you guys think of Wuthering Heights? Was my rating fair? Comment below your thoughts. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like. Goodbye, y'all.